A 14-story building in Gaza City collapsed after being hit by an Israeli attack during a live broadcast by a local BBC reporter. According to images released by the broadcaster, journalist Adnan Elbursh informed viewers on Wednesday, 12, of the conflict between Israel and the Islamic group Hamas, which has already caused at least 139 deaths on both sides and in the West Bank, while he was interrupted by the sound of explosions. The reporter, positioned on what appears to be the roof of another building, leaves the frame as the cameraman focuses the camera on a cloud of smoke that begins to rise from the base of the building that appears at the bottom of the screen. Image, says Al-Sharouk. Elbursh continues to report the incident until he is again interrupted by another explosion. "Adnan, are you all right? Please end the show if you're in danger. I see the attacks have taken place where you are," intervened the host who ran the show. Moments later, the building is hit again, and part of the side of the building collapses, raising an even larger cloud of dust and smoke. The reporter says there were minor attacks, as signs that it was going to explode soon, until a large explosion finally brought down the 14-story tower. According to the British network, residents of the building and the surrounding area received evacuation alerts around 1.5 hours in advance. The video published by the BBC does not show the collapse itself, but footage taken by witnesses and broadcast by American television ABC News shows the collapse of the building, as well as the scenario of destruction after the attacks. Gaza's death toll rose to 128 on Friday, including 31 children and 20 women, in addition to 950 injured, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. In Israel, 500 were injured and 8 killed, a soldier and 7 civilians, including 2 children and an Indian worker, officials said. The tally does not include the 11 Palestinians who died in clashes against Israeli forces in the West Bank on Friday, after several protests against Israel erupted in the region. The new phase of hostilities was sparked by clashes between Palestinians and Israeli security forces at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. The city, sacred to Jews, Palestinians, Christians, and Muslims, has been in a state of tension since the start of Ramadan, the most important month for Islam. At the center of the current conflict are freedom of worship in parts of the Jerusalem area known as the Ancient City, and a court ruling that provides for the eviction of Palestinian families from the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood who, due to a verdict of the regional court, must return land to the Jews. On February 23 and 20, Israeli soldiers accused a group of Palestinians of attempting to install an explosive on the fence separating Israel from the Gaza Strip, which sparked a conflict between the two sides. In response, the radical Islamic Jihad group fired around 100 rockets at southern Israel in 48 hours, which responded with shelling that left 4 Palestinians injured. May 3 to 6, 19 after 2 Israeli soldiers near the border were wounded by gunfire from Gaza. Israel launched an attack on Hamas targets in the area. In response, 690 rockets from Gaza were fired at Israel, 240 of which were intercepted by the air defense system. The clash ended with 25 dead on the Palestinian side, including 2 pregnant women and 2 children, and 4 on the Israeli side. 25 to 27 March 19, a rocket fired from the Gaza Strip destroyed a house in the village of Mishmarit, north of Tel Aviv, injuring 7 Israelis. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu then ordered areas bombed by Hamas, which fired rockets at the southern Israeli town of Ashkelon. The violence ended after nearly a week of clashes.